Good afternoon and welcome to Williams Dog Training Company. We're here today with Fred and Rocco, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today is Rocco's ability to understand and respond to his obedience commands, the corrections and motivations we give him while we are working with him, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he's going to keep the bulk of that leash folded neatly in his right hand, leaving his left hand free to give the correction. The correction that we give is a tug and let go to the training collar, which is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Rocco's been fitted with his own personal training collar, and we'll show you how to properly use this during your one-on-one lesson. As you can see, Rocco is seated nicely on Fred's left, which is where all our obedience training is done. The first command they're going to demonstrate is heeling, which is proper walking on a leash. And Fred and Rocco take off doing that now. The command you want to use for this is Rocco heel, and then you start walking, and he'll fall right in line on your left-hand side. And we've also gone ahead and incorporated our automatic sit into this, so anytime Fred stops his feet, Rocco will sit, as he just did. It's important when you're heeling Rocco that he walks nicely at your pace on your left-hand side without trying to pull ahead of you or lag behind. If he did attempt to pull ahead or lag behind, you say no, give a tug and let go correction to the training collar, repeat your command to heel, and then start walking again. The next command they're going to demonstrate is the stay command, which is the hand and voice command. Fred's going to use the open flat of his left palm and inch or so from Rocco's muzzle and the one-word command to stay. He walks out to the end of the training leash. This is a great exercise to start building up self-control and maturity in Rocco. You can start practicing this one at about a minute's time and work your way up in increments to about 3 minutes. As Fred returns back to Rocco, he's going to walk all the way around him, providing an added distraction as he goes behind him, and right back to that left-hand side heel position. Rocco holds that sit-stay throughout. Fred gives him a little praise and then heels him right out of it. We'll show you a little more of the heel, sit, and stay. There's that automatic sit. As they come back around, he has him in a sit, he gives him the stay again, walks back out to the end of that leash. And this time, instead of returning back, he demonstrates the come or recall command. Calls Rocco in using his name, he comes and sits in front of him. Then we have an exercise called the finish. Fred heels Rocco right around the back of him, right back to that left-hand side heel position, and he sits. He'll demonstrate that recall again, so he gave him a sit, put him end to stay, walked out to the end of the training leash, calls him in using his name, he comes in, sits right in front, and then the finish, Fred heels him right around the back of him to get him right back to his proper left-hand side heel position, and Rocco sits. Now this is a good time to remind you want to practice all your commands with Rocco about 15 to 20 minutes a day. You can practice inside or outside your home and just incorporate the commands into your daily routine with him. It'll help to keep all the commands fresh in his mind. Next we're going to be showing you our down commands. The first is down from a heel position. Fred will use the open flat of his left palm straight down to the ground and the one-word firm command to down. He then gives him a stay and walks out to the end of that training leash. Now this is another great exercise to build up that maturity in Rocco and the self-control. You can start practicing this one at about 3 minutes and work your way up in increments till you get to about 5. Now as Fred returns back to Rocco, he's going to walk all the way around him as he did on the sit stay, and right back to that left-hand side heel position. Rocco holds his down throughout, Fred gives him some praise, and then heels him right out of it. And I'll show you that down again when they come back around. He's got him in the sit, he gives him a down and a stay, backs out to the end of that training leash. Now he demonstrates the recall command right out of the down, calls him in, he comes and sits right in front, and then the finish, Fred heels him right around the back, and right back to that left-hand side heel position, and he sits. Nicely done. He heels him out of that. Now they'll get lined up for our final command. Now you see Rocco's doing well, but if for any reason he does not respond to a command, it's always important to follow through. So the first word out of your mouth would be no, followed by a tug and let go correction to the training collar, and then you're going to repeat the command you gave him. This will be our down from a distance. Fred has him in a sit, gave him a stay, walked out to the end of the leash. This is the only time you use your right hand to give the command, and Fred drops him into a down from the end of the training leash. He then returns back to him once again by walking all the way around and right back to that left-hand side heel position. Rocco holds that down throughout. Fred heels him right out of it. Now, we've also started to advance his training a little bit. So Fred's going to show you a little bit of that now. And gives him a sit and a stay, drops the leash completely, walks away from Rocco, walks a full lap around, comes right back to him, and now still off leash, he gives him the down and a stay, and walks away again. Well, obviously we don't intend for you to start doing his commands off leash when he first comes home, but this just shows you what you can build up to with Rocco as long as you put in that 15 to 20 minutes a day and you work with his commands on leash. So Fred had given him that down, walked away from him again, walked all the way around, and then came back to him. And now as he untangles the leash there, he's going to heel him right out of that perfectly. Alright, we've demonstrated for you the obedience commands we've worked on with Rocco here at school. It's been a pleasure working with Rocco, and we thank you again for choosing Williams Dog Training Company as your personal dog trainer.